You want a little clap on, clap off?
Whoa, with the double.
Game plan.
Dig. Going crazy out here.
Oh, dude, it is cooking inside this home right now.
I turned the shit off.
It's still going. It's hot. No, I like it though. It's winter. It's actually not winter, but it's almost winter.
It's winter for Texas. All right, do we want to do like a fucking intro or something? Oh, I don't even have my headphones. I feel so fucking butt ass right now.
Go get your headphones, doggy.
It's okay. I'm a raw dog it.
You are raw dogging it with that bald ass.
It's all droopy and shit.
Friday night, Round Rock, Texas. Who's number one? 31. Me and Juice here are from Game Plan the Podcast. This is our second YouTube channel where you can find anything non-podcast specific content from us. So today we're going to do predictions for the 9 matchups on who's number one, 31. And like I said, that's going to be in Kalahari Resorts in Round Rock, Texas.
We're both going to be there.
We will be there.
We're looking forward to it.
If you can't make it, tune in. Flograppling.
Okay, so I guess we'll just jump right into it.
Yeah, let's go.
I'm looking at the matchup list right now. We have Nick Fritz versus Sean Magnus. Any ideas? Do you know anything about these athletes' styles?
I've known Sean for a couple years. He's an MMA fighter. He was fighting out of 10th Planet, Austin, for quite a while. He's also competed in a bunch of jiu-jitsu events that I've been at. So he's got a really solid like cage wrestling game, upper body throws, so kind of like a Greco-Roman, like big hip throws off of like a head and arm or underhook, that kind of stuff. So his opponent, Nick Fritz, I didn't know a ton about him, but I've caught a few of the clips in him in competition. And like an example I saw of where I see the path to victory for Nick is in the leg lock game. I caught a clip that was pretty old where a guy goes in on his leg and he beautifully defends it, sets himself back into 50-50 as he's defending, and then immediately exposes the heel and taps the guy.
Sick.
So anytime you see someone using leg locks as a counter, I feel like that shows that that's kind of one of their strong suits. And I know that Sean is an MMA fighter. He's got a little bit more of positional control and dominance. So I think in Sean's favor, he's trying to keep it where he's ideally starting on the feet, throwing the guy down and controlling him. Whereas I think if Nick can get on Sean's leg, he's going to create some serious problems for him.
Do you think he'll miss the cage at all? I imagine from what you were saying, it sounds like there'll be a lot of resets or something. Or is that false? I don't know.
I wish that this wasn't on the flat mat for that reason, just because Sean is a big guy and he can move a lot. So there probably will be some resets. But again, we don't know if Nick's even going to engage with him on the feet. Looking at what I saw from Nick, I would suggest a guard pull straight into the legs. Any random like X factors between these guys?
That we know.
No, I don't know too much about Nick Fritz. I mean, Sean Magnus is kind of like a little bit of a local legend in that, he works at the mothership, so he sees everybody down there, and I've run into him a few times. But yeah, I would say just a really strong MMA base with good upper body throws versus the only other things I've seen from Nick was more jiu-jitsu and leg lock. So probably favor a little bit towards Nick on that, but it's only a 9-minute match, so you know that Sean's going to be able to push the RPMs pretty high for 9 minutes.
Well, 9 minutes, and there are 9 matches total. So, down to move on to the next one?
Yeah, and there'll be 9 minutes for the prelims, and then the main card starting with Felipe and Abraham's going to be 15,
Gotcha.
As far as I understand.
Okay, so the next match, we got our boy Grayson Henley versus Michael Bannach.
Shout out Fight Factory. Grayson and I teach the kids classes at Fight Factory. He's one of my favorite training partners. So I actually break down Grayson versus Michael very similar to Nick and Sean from the first match.
Yeah.
Michael is an MMA fighter as well. I don't know what team he's on as it stands currently, but I've seen him training at the 10th Planet guy, so I know that at least at some point he was training with even Sean Magnus. So we know Michael's going to be aggressive, heavy pressure on top, strong base. Grayson Henley, big time guard player, leg locker. So I think for the first two matchups, you actually have the same stylistic matchup of a little bit more of a MMA base top pressure versus a bottom player who's good with the leg locks. I think that for both of those matchups, the MMA guys, Michael and Sean, need to keep their legs away from their opponent. If they can do that and get some positional controls, I think their path to victory is to stay alive from the submissions and get like a decision victory.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with these leg lockers, a small mistake and they can get you back with the sub. So I think stylistically, those first two are going to look, both have a good chance of being a quick leg lock submission, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Next one, we have Joslyn Molina versus Katie Bochenek.
Yeah, so Joslyn Baby Shark Molina, 13 years old, absolute savage.
Dang.
Yeah. So she's like...
That's terrifying.
16-0 on her last 16 matches, something like that. She is from Checkmat Olympus and looking to make the move to Kingsway here in Austin. I think what? Olympus... Olympia. I don't know. It was called Olympus Checkmat.
Okay.
So we'd have to look up where Olympus Checkmat is. But making the way to Austin, Texas to join the Kingsway team.
Sick.
And I got to say...
Shout out Kingsway.
Shout out Kingsway, but taking on a 13-year-old who's already this successful, being 13 and getting in on that gym is going to be crucial because 13 is young.
Oh.
That's a lot of years to develop before you're in the adult black belt kind of division. So I think that there's a lot of potential there. Against Katie Bochenek, she is at formerly B Team Simple Man Martial Arts, purple belt, active competitor, has competed against, Helena Crevar and some of these other top athletes in the no-gi divisions. There's a reason that Flograppling's putting a 13-year-old out there. I think that she's a tough matchup for anybody. So I think this one's going to be a little bit in Jocelyn's favor. Having potentially some size and experience from Bochenek could help. B Team's, solid team. B Team for a reason, always number 2. So kind of a classic Kingsway versus Simple Man Martial Arts, which used to be New Wave versus B Team.
Yeah.
So I would say it's our first, and I think only rivalry of the actual two rivals in the sport that we've had the last couple of years of, I don't know what to call it anymore. Is it Kingsway versus Simple Man Martial Arts, or is it B Team versus New Wave? Because B Team versus New Wave is a lot easier to say. So it's B Team
100%.
versus New Wave. All
Yeah,
right.
B Team versus New Wave.
And the B Team versus New Wave kind of finishes up the undercard.
Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Felipe Costa versus Abraham the Mountain.
Okay, so both these guys are well established. Felipe is a South American trials winner for ADCC competitor, super active in the gi from many years. Six Blades athlete under Xande Ribiero. So I'm sure him and Xande did the camps together for this. So I think there's an added benefit for Felipe on having his coach being in camp. They've probably been putting a lot of training rounds together, and having Xande for his training partner is going to be huge for Felipe, right? His opponent, Abraham the Mountain, he's got a move named after him. The guy is already established as a legend in the sport, whether you like it or not. We all call it the A block. I teach people the A block. It's the A block, right? Whether he
100%.
invented it or not, it doesn't really matter. The interesting thing I find about this is when Felipe won his trials run for South America, he used the close guard really well. And that was kind of his key to success to that weekend, was his close guard. Where you hit an A block is in reverse close guard. Mm-hmm. So the way that I look at this matchup is, can Abraham get Felipe into the reverse close guard and try to hit the A block? Or can Felipe keep Abraham in his close guard? Because I think the longer that Felipe keeps Abraham in his close guard, that's where he's going to be able to find his way to win the match. So another two locals, right? Six Blades Austin versus Kingsway / New Wave.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great matchup. I feel like it's a little bit overdue. I feel like Abraham is in this weird spot being under John where he's still competing in IBJJF colored belts and then doing these professional grappling matches against some of the higher belts. So I'm happy that he's on the main card. He totally deserves it and has put in a ton of work on the competition mats to get here.
Mad reps. All right. Next matchup, we have Gabi Pessanha versus Paige Ivette Clymer. Clymer?
Yeah. So you probably don't know Sloan Clymer.
No.
He is an active no-gi competitor. You'll see him at like ADCC Opens, trials, that kind of stuff. I think he either works with or works for Legion, Keenan Cornelius' gym in San Diego.
Yeah.
So I believe Paige is Sloan's wife, but so she's under Sloan for her black belt. So great resources, right, at a super strong area for jiu-jitsu. San Diego was the original kind of mecca for jiu-jitsu for many years before arguably it moved to Austin, Texas. So you know that she's coming from a great team and that's involved with the modern no-gi scene. Problem with all of that, she's going up against Gabi Pessanha, who is like a 5-time black belt world champion. And that doesn't even include all of her colored belts championships, right? And I think...
So you could say she's relatively seasoned.
Yeah, super seasoned. Now, when we say like gi, okay, this is a no-gi match, and do your skills in the gi translate to the no-gi? Well, it's not like Gabi hasn't done no-gi as well.
Right.
So I think that it's very likely that Gabi will be able to find the submission. It seems to be the choke from the back and the footlock are her two strong suits. So that presents a lot of problems for Paige in that she's got to be able to defend her back and her legs at the same time. And so if you use the mat to protect your back, your legs are going to be exposed. So it'll be interesting to see what Paige can do to be able to take that match. Unfortunately, I think for some of these athletes on the card, one of the best paths to victory is going to be looking to get a decision win. And I know that may not be what the fans want to see, but against someone that's a multiple-time world champion, the margin for error is so small that if you go for sloppy submissions, you're probably going to get caught in your submission yourself.
For sure.
I think that you got to play it safe and do everything you can. Try to submit them. But realistically, if they're going to win, I think it's going to be through a decision and being able to create some stalemates.
Okay. We have next up Xande Ribiero versus Faris, Ben-Lamkaden.
Yeah, so shout out to Xande. I got to be a student under him for a couple of years over a decade ago, and he was awesome to learn from. He's like a Hall of Famer in gi, no gi, whatever you want to call it, multiple-time world champion.
Legend of Jiu-Jitsu.
That's what I wrote down too, right?
Oh, for real?
100%.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. So one of my favorite attacks from Xande is his armbar. He's got a couple videos that are out there of him hitting like flying arm bars, but just in general, I think his armbar threat is something that Faris is going into the match aware of. But I think even though he's probably been training for it and aware of it, the way that Xande throws that armbar up, I think it's hard to replicate. So Faris, he's under Roger Gracie. And what I liked about researching Faris is that he also changed with Charles Negromonte. Charles Negromonte submitted Isaac Mitchell. If you remember that ADCC match where Isaac gets his hand raised, he thinks he won on points. They take back the points that forces it to go to overtime. And then Charles gets the knee bar in OT. That's just one small example, but Charles is a super game grappler and ADCC competitor. So I think once I found out that Faris has him to work with and he's under Roger Gracie's the gi goat, at least we can all kind of agree on. So he's got a good team. My problem is don't bet against Xande Ribiero, right? Yeah. Him and his team have been able to stay relevant and stay at the top of the game at an age that most people would say that it's time to retire. Rafael Lovato Jr. has been one of his students for a very long time. He just beat 2-time ADCC champion Giancarlo Bodoni, right? So, and he's like 42 or something like that. Yeah. So these Six Blades guys are legit, and I think it will be a major upset if Faris is able to beat Xande, whether it's a decision or a submission.
More exciting matchup than Xande versus
Jordan. Hard to say.
Sure.
I am a little bit more excited for it. I feel like I should apologize on what I had said previously about Jordan teaches jiu-jitsu and him having the spot on Flograppling. It's not that he doesn't deserve to be there. It's just the caliber that Xande is at.
Right.
It's not like there's very few people that really are on that same caliber and kind of should be in there against Xande. He's just on a higher level than most athletes are ever going to get to.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. The next matchup we have Helena Crevar versus Julia Boscher.
Yeah, I think this kind of goes back to what I was talking about of like sleeping on the gi competitors.
Laser beams. Oh.
Yeah. So championship fight, featherweight, female division. Obviously, Helena has been under Kingsway for quite a while now, and she's crushing it. She's a super active competitor in every super fight organization there is and tournaments as well. Her record, speaks for itself. So I think it legitimately is tough to find competition for her. It's not saying that girls can't beat Helena, but it is challenging. So I think getting another Brazilian gi competitor to go against her is just taking a chance. Does having this background in an adjacent sport from gi to no gi help enough to be able to take on these young athletes? The problem is Kingsway is like the MIT of grappling, right? So if you're trying to transition from the gi and just go try out this no gi, you're going to be up against the nerds of no gi that have been putting in time year after year.
Nerds of no gi.
So
hell yeah.
Really all I have to say about that match is that Julia is very well rounded, and I would like to see Helena show what she's been working on in that, like showing a little bit of wrestling. We're all used to her guard pull, and she's got a great guard. And I don't know if this plan has changed, but I remember hearing John talking about how he builds his athletes up and he first develops the guard before he later focuses on the takedowns and the wrestling. And I've been just wanting to see Helena do a little bit more of that wrestling.
Show some of that.
So hopefully, I think Julia would be down to wrestle. So if Helena comes out and wants to wrestle, then she has a chance to showcase some new skills there, and I would love to see that.
That'll be cool. Yeah, looking forward to that one. Our next match, we have Diego Pato versus Deandre Corbe.
So this is an awesome matchup. Deandre has like a previous win over Diego. I can't remember where that was. But what's so interesting about this lightweight title match is Deandre Corbe is from Standard Jiu-Jitsu with Greg Souders, which is the CLA Ecological Approach team, right? And Diego Pato's at the Art of Jiu-Jitsu in Costa Mesa with the Mendez brothers. You have kind of the two extremes, I would say, of like
polar opposites. The
ecological training approach versus whatever the other method. I think I can't ever remember what
standard.
No, but AOJ has been one of the best places to train gi jiu-jitsu, definitely in America and arguably in the world for a long time. And not just gi jiu-jitsu, no gi as well. And they're very organized in their training, and they teach lessons and they drill. So I think that there's elements of what they do at AOJ that's just like what they do at Standard. I think that they have similar philosophies on certain parts of the training, but I think that AOJ is just like the classic learning model that I came up in jiu-jitsu and a lot of people have if you started in the past. And so I think having Diego versus Deandre is just a cool matchup in, AOJ versus CLA, right? So I'm interested to see if Deandre can like submit Diego. I think that's one of those examples that Greg could use of like, hey, look, we're just playing games and our athletes are able to find the submission on one of the best leg lockers in the world.
Do you think this will be a sub finish or decision?
I think that the problem with the 15-minute continuous action is like Diego Pato's done this before, and I think that he knows how to roll for 15 minutes, so I could see it going to the decision for sure. But I would argue that Diego's got a little bit more of a submission threat, especially in the legs, and so I think that there's always a chance anytime you're rolling with Diego Pato that he could leg lock you.
All right. Let's see. Our last matchup, Felipe Pena versus Luke Griffith.
Yeah, so,
Big boys.
Heavyweight championship. So Luke has lost to Felipe twice. So he's been submitted twice, choking an armbar. So for Luke to win this, it's like a little bit of redemption, and you're still down on the best out of 3, right? Best 2 out of 3. However, I don't think that we've seen Luke's final form yet. I think that he's still under development and improving all the time. So I don't hold those 2 submission losses too much against him going into this weekend. I do kind of go back to, since Luke's been submitted twice, one of his goals should be not get submitted, right? So stay out of danger and win the control game. I will say that the heavyweights tend to have a singular moment of action that will dictate the fight. So if they're 10 minutes in and one guy gets another guy's back, they usually get the finish. Yeah. So Felipe is the guy who beat Gordon, right? He was the one that got the wins on him, and he's got the wins on Luke Griffith. So I think if you're John and Gordon, you're hell-bent on making sure that Kingsway gets this dub back. But yeah, I mean, Felipe's talking about not sleeping on the gi, not sleeping on Gracie Baja, right? I mean, I think most people know about jiu-jitsu from Gracie Baja, or they probably have more students than any other gym in the world. Yeah. And Felipe's out there representing Gracie Baja. So as much flack as they might get, I think it's awesome that they still got the main card athlete coming out of Gracie Baja and Brazil.
Sick. Dope. I think that's all of them.
Yeah. Do you want to do a closeout?
It's Felipe, not Felipe, huh?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can correct me if I didn't say your name correctly. Tell me tomorrow when I'm calling your name out, or on Friday.
Yeah.
100%. Let me know.
My excuse is I'm a casual, so I don't know anything.
I'm from Texas. I have an accent. I don't really speak any other languages fluently, so my ability to read people's names is it is what it is.
Your ability to read, bro.
My ability to write.
Yeah. All right, how we want to close, or do we want to close?
Yeah. So check out Game Plan the podcast. Me and Juice post videos every week there. We got WNO 31, Round Rock, Texas, this Friday, December 5th.
Kalahari.
Right, at Kalahari Resorts. Come check it out. If you can't check it out, watch it on Flograppling. And if you're there live, say what's up to me and Juice.
Yeah, he'll be there. I'll be there shooting by the mats, so say what's up.
Thanks so much for watching, and please like, subscribe, comment down below if you agree, disagree, don't like the matchups. Let us know.
Yeah. Cool. Game plan? Game plan.
Game plan.
Oh, that was crispy. Hell yeah.